Hello, I welcome you back. This is course number 6, Mental Systems. So why do we not call it psychological course or emotional course? Because mental is a lot more than psychological or emotional. It's cognition, it's awareness, it's attention. All these things flow into this aspect. And there's two main things we want to look at. So for all of you who fear that this might be some kind of psychological training or psychotherapy training, that's not what this is. First of all, it's about mental mechanics. That's what we call it. So it's just like a patient coming in saying, I have a knee pain, and then you test and you see that maybe the external rotation is a problem. That's where he has pain, and that's where there is dysfunction in the system. The same thing we do with the mind. Now we go into external rotation of the mind. So there's mind aspects we can test to see if that correlates with maybe a knee pain or something like that. So first of all, it's mental mechanics. So there could be something that happened, maybe an accident or so that's related to the knee pain or an operation, and maybe that was stressful. So maybe there was some kind of emotional aspect added on to the physical aspect of the knee pain and the knee disruption or the dysfunction. And so we can go back and kind of look at those mental functions and see if there's a disruption in the function. So it's not about the content, it's more about the functioning of the system while I'm performing a mental task, thinking about it, perceiving it, feeling into it. So all these things are mental functions. And of course, when we test mental functions, we don't see anything. So if I put a knee into external rotation, of course, I will see that. If I put the mental system into external rotation, I cannot see that. So we have a lot of testing where we don't see anything, where we just give instructions, which part of the mental function we just want to look at, take a closer look and see if it correlates with the pain or with the discomfort or with the symptom the patient is coming to. So it's not all about mental symptoms. It's not all about emotional symptoms. It's very often just about bodily symptoms. So the patient coming in with knee pain, with dysfunction of the gut, of the intestine, with sleep disruption, all those things, they can have physical aspects or physiological aspects, and they can have mental aspects. And now we're going to look at the mental aspects. So everybody who thought this was a psychotherapy, you can just relax. But of course, there is a psychological aspect, but not in terms of that we're going to start treating trauma and discussing and analyzing all these things. It's more about looking at mindsets and looking at values and things like that, because this is something that can cause a stress or a discomfort if I don't have a solution for the situation I'm in. So sometimes this could be due to trauma. Of course, I don't want to say that trauma is not relevant, but I look a lot into the future, into looking for solutions, and mindset or beliefs can be harmful, and beliefs can also be not there. So I might not have the belief or the mindset I need to solve a situation. So very interesting research here coming out of Stanford University. Alia Crum, she's looking at physiological aspects of mindsets. So like they did one experiment where they gave the people a shake, some sort of shake with some content. And then they had two groups, and they basically lied to both of the groups, because to one group they said, well, there's not much in it. It's like a diet thing with not much content, just giving you some satiety in your stomach. And the other group, they said, well, this is full of everything you need, vitamins, minerals, and all that kind of stuff. So, and then they measured the ghrelin. So ghrelin is a hormone signaling hunger. And they found out that the group that was told this is diet, they still had high ghrelin levels even after they ingested it. And the other group who had the information that this is very contentful, they had low ghrelin levels. So kind of both were wrong, but the mindset set the ghrelin level, which is quite interesting. Basically, we know this kind of stuff because it's a long time already. Everybody's talking about mindset, mind-body connection, all this thing. What they're doing now, they're just giving it the data we need, the physiological data, the immunological data, hormone data, all those things. What does mindset really do with your body? So we have to take that into account. That is for sure. So somebody can come in and he might experience discomfort and pain because of his mindset. He might also experience discomfort and pain because of a physiological problem, because of bad reflexes like we did in the other courses, resetting movement patterns, etc. So very often I would say it's both, and you cannot know really which is more. I always ask my patients, well, do you think this is a mind thing? Usually they refer then that to stress. They say, yeah, I think a lot of it comes from stress. So they already, you have a subjective interpretation of the situation. They could be very right. They could also be very wrong because they don't understand movement patterns. So of course I have to go through everything, look at everything to really take the patient, see the patient as a whole. So that would be a mistake if I would thought, well, this is just all movement patterns or this is just all mindset. Well, very likely it's both. A little different maybe with somebody comes in and said, I'm feeling fine basically, but I'm stressed out because I have this and this situation. I can't find a solution. So I have that happening. So that goes more into a psychological thing, finding solutions. And this is more oriented towards the future. If there is a situation in the past, usually we just look at that from a physiological standpoint, test it and integrate it, see which systems are disrupted and not really analyze that. And then we go into more into the future. Maybe there's an analysis, maybe there's an analysis for that, seeing what do we need to cope with this situation better. And that of course has a lot to do with mindset, with belief systems, with the values we have in our lives. And that has a lot to do how I grew up. And what I'm always looking for is not what happened. I'm always looking more for what did not happen. What did I not learn? Because if I have a certain mindset, this might bring me into a situation where I'm right now. But if I don't have the mindset to solve the situation, I'm just going to get stuck. So it's a lot about finding solutions and working towards solutions. So it's not really psychological. I say this is more like a cognitive thing. And we're just helping the people to look at take a different perspective, look at their issue in a different way. So this is what we also do. This is what I like to do. I've been doing this for a lot of years and I have a lot of experience in this. And of course you might say, well, this is not my thing, and that's completely fine. And this is why this course is not all about psychology. This is first of all about mental mechanics, and this is a part that's really easy to integrate into what you've been doing up to here, looking at the autonomic nervous system, looking at the somatomotor nervous system, now looking at the mental mechanics. And if you want to, you could help your patient find a different mindset if that is something you like to do. And if you don't, well, maybe you can have somebody else do that for you. You just need to be aware that this could be a problem. Like an example I always like to give is, well, if you have a canoe, it's really good to get across a lake, but to have a canoe, it's not good to get across a mountain. So you need different equipment. And this is the same thing for your mind. You might need a different mindset. You might need different mind equipment to get into across a situation. And we always encounter new situations we haven't encountered yet. And then the question is, do I find strategies to deal with this? So if somebody comes in and they were just feeling fine and then they had this accident, they now have this knee problem, this might give them physiological issues, and it also might give them mind issues or mental issues, how to deal with that. I can't do this and I can't do that, and all my life is going down the drain now because I can't move my knee the way I used to. Well, maybe I can't move my knee because I think my life is going down the drain. Or if I really cannot move my knee because it's just been damaged through the accident or through the surgery, then you might have to change your mindset and find a new mindset to go through life with the damaged knee. So a whole lot of things going on, but I emphasize again, this is not a psychological course. Just part of it is psychology or mental aspects. Most of it, or not most of it, large part of it is just a continuum from where we come from. Physiology in terms of autonomics, somatomotor system, now mental systems, mental mechanics like attention and perception. And so that's what we're going to deal with here in this course. So we're basically ready to go. So why don't we just hit the road?